So it, it's probably something that's going to click on your screen, and they're going to ask you, basically let you know that it's being recorded. Once again, this is not anything like a webinar, anything where I'm selling anything. This is literally a town hall meeting that I have with the people that are in my mailing list. And I do this every week at the same time. Even if you don't see a link, uh, the day before or 2 days before. Usually I send that warning out an hour before, and then I send a link out about 5 minutes before. And sometimes I start with a topic. Sometimes we just get together and I answer questions. Whatever work is fine with me. Today I'm actually going to start with a topic. I have joined a lead generation program that cost me a few grand. And uh, basically what happened was I was running an ad to a funnel, and the ad was doing so. Like I was making my money back. It was like, okay. And I was like, look, I need some type of coaching on how to actually generate leads and how to actually convert these leads into business, and um how to duplicate that and replicate it and sell it. And I found a program, and the program is called an insiders program. Is a few $1,000s, and you get everything set up, and it show you how to run cold emails and do all of this stuff. And while setting things up in that program, I realized there were gaps in my own system. So I started to close up these gaps in my system. And in doing so, I ended up hiring a team, which made it easier for me to run my ads and do things like this. A few months ago, I would miss some of these Wednesdays because I may be making a website. I was trying to do everything in my business maybe like 3 months ago. I was literally doing everything except building the funnels and websites out. I have a team that does that, and there are a full marketing team. They run Facebook ads and all of that. And basically, that was the only team I had. Now, I would pay somebody to do a flyer or pay somebody to do one off things, but I did not hire anybody on. The particular ad that most of you guys clicked on actually started to do pretty good because I understood targeting. So that's the thing that I want to talk about today is actually targeting. So it's no better way to talk about it than to give you my experience, which was I paid a lot of money for this funnel last year. So it's been about 11 months, maybe 10 and a half, 11 months. But I paid a lot of money to have this funnel built out from this marketing team. And I had them redo my websites. I think I had 3 websites. So I had them to redo 3 websites, a funnel, a bunch of stuff. I spent a lot of money, like thousands and thousands of dollars, getting all of this stuff built out and getting this funnel and automations put together. And I thought I could just throw money at it. I said, well, I'm spending the money. I was graduating. I was like, look, I'm going 100% into my business. I did not want to go fill out applications. I was I was jaded with the application process because I went and filled out an application for Amazon the year prior when I got my bachelor's degree, and Amazon hired me. Amazon hired me. I took all the tests. I'm cold. I graduated top of my class. I'm very knowledgeable with things, and I test well. Some people can be smart but not test well, but I test really well, which means I don't feel pressure and I don't have anxiety about taking a test. I don't forget the things that I learned because it's pressure on me. I test really well. So with Amazon, they made me take a test. I test really high. They called me in for an interview like the next week. I got everything together, and then they asked me for this background check. If you're not familiar with me, I have spent time in prison, and I did not have a problem saying yes, I've had legal issues because I've had legal issues. And when people do background checks, they'll find that anyway, and they'll find out what you did. I've never been a scammer. I've never been, I've never played with people information, anything like that. I did have a conspiracy case, which don't make me any better than the person that did the scamming. But with Amazon, I felt like what I did before has nothing to do with this job. Now, if I wanted to go and apply for a hospital job, I knew I couldn't work there because I had a appeal case. So I know I can't work at a hospital. But I'm like, look, it's been whatever at the time, 7, 8 years since I was convicted. I've changed my life around. I got an education now. I don't listen. I wouldn't middleman a nickel bag of weed at this point, and it's legal in Detroit. I don't have anything to do with anything illegal because that's crazy to be in somebody prison with an MBA. Now, they did not give me the job because of my criminal history. And it kind of touched me a little bit. It was like, dang, I did all of this. And it was literally the only job that I applied for and actually went through the hiring process. There were other jobs that I may have clicked the button on. We have a school website or whatever, but this was the only job that I actually went through the interview process, went and did everything and got a job. They sent me a offer sheet and it was like everything was lined up. And then they was like, no. So going into my master's degree about a year later, I did not fill out an application. I didn't do anything. And by that time, I was making decent money. Um, Last year I realized I was making six figures. So I was like, look, if it's a job that I apply for, they have to, I have to make a certain amount of money. So going into this year, I didn't even waste my time. I haven't applied for anything since I got my master's. I've ran my company 100% of the way. And I did even better this year, going, 24 than I did in 23. And it was because I understood automations, targeting, having a team, and different things like that. So once again, I thought I had it figured out. I paid all this money for this funnel. And I was like, look, they're going to set these ads up. I'm going to run these ads and I'm going to make X, Y, Z. And it didn't happen like that. So for about 6 months, maybe I ran this funnel and it was just mediocre results. And I was like, this is not what I need. So I just, I dove in. I took a deep dive into lead generation and marketing. And it's different than getting a degree. You can follow the curriculum, but it's different when your money is on the line. So I went and I studied and I paid for different courses like sales courses and marketing. And going into this year, I knew what I needed. I said, okay, I need lead generation because I understand what I'm selling, but I need to generate these leads. And I learned targeting. So I don't care what kind of business you're in. If your offer is not dialed in and you are not targeting the type of people who can A, afford your offer, B, feel like they need your offer. It's not about what you think they need, it's about you communicating to them that they need your offer. And if it's a big enough pool of them, right? If you have something that only 3 people in the state can use, you're going to have a hard time selling that. And even if you get those 3 people to buy it, you're going to have a hard time scaling that. A lot of people focus on the sale, which is the immediate money. They don't focus on the scale. So I know that Chef Red, she is obviously a chef, right? So the type of food she cook may not be the type of food that everybody eats. So you have to understand your product, A. Then you have to understand the people who buy your product. And that's where targeting and actually understanding the avatar comes from. If you do not know who your client avatar is, this is one person that you can nail down and say, this is the person I'm selling to. Now, there may be some minor variations to this avatar, but for the most part, if you can nail down this one particular person that you want to sell to, then you know exactly who you talk to. You know exactly who you don't need to talk to. So I jump on sales calls. In the first 2 to 3 minutes, I know whether what I'm selling is for you or not because I asked the right questions. The reason that the new ad is doing so much better than the old ad is not because I had a better haircut. It's not because I had a better funnel. I had the same exact funnel. All I did was get a new script. I understood who I had better phone calls with when I was, making these calls from the old funnel. I understood exactly who I was talking to. And I knew who was like, no, I'm good. I can't afford it. I knew who said, I'm not interested. I knew who said, it's a little too complicated for me. I knew who said whatever else that they used as a rejection. I understood all of the rejections because I was the person making the sales calls. Somebody else may have called you now, but at the time I was the one making the sales calls. And I was like, why are my results mediocre? I know exactly what I'm selling and I know that these people can use this, but I did not have my avatar nailed down because I was saying, hey, if you are a small business, blah, 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 blah. Everybody who thought about having a business clicked on that ad. Everybody who may have just started a business clicked on that ad. Everybody who knew somebody with a business was clicking on his ad. So I ended up with a lot of leads and they were junk leads because I did not nail down my customer avatar. About 3 months ago, I had that ad off for maybe 2, 3 months at the time. It was somewhere around there where I like cut the ad off because I was getting a bunch of junk leads, like a bunch of people that maybe I make 20 calls to get a sale. That's terrible. That's terrible. I should make at least 2 to 3 sales per every 10 calls I make. And I'm on par with that now. But at the time, it was all bad. It was all bad. Like it was literally, it took me 20 calls to make a sale probably. So I went back to the drawing board and I see where the gap was. The gap was not in the product because the product was a good product. The gap was not in my experience. I'm very experienced. I know what I know. I got social proof. I got everything because I've done what I'm doing with other people. I have very great reviews on Google. I was like, it's not this. The problem is the message was not dialed in enough. I had not reached my target audience. So when you see the ad now, it's way more successful because I said, hi, minority entrepreneurs making 50 to 100K a year looking to scale their business. That is my avatar. In its completeness, is experienced minority entrepreneurs making at least 50 to 100K in their business looking to scale it. There's a few moving parts within this, but if you pay attention to it, you can understand it. If you are an experienced minority entrepreneur, right? The reason that I targeted experienced minority entrepreneurs is because experience means you understand business takes money. You understand that you have a a problem that you want to fix. For somebody who does not have a business, somebody who's not actively growing their business, they don't understand that everything is an investment. They don't understand they have a problem because they're just happy to make a sale every week or two. They don't really put in the money to they don't really put in the money to grow their business because they're still taking it like a hobby. So I want experienced entrepreneurs making at least 50 to 100K a year. The reason that the money is there because what I'm selling costs some money. I'm not selling my $97 product. If you get on the phone with me, you don't have to worry about me selling you high level. If you want high level, I will definitely hook you up with high level and we charge to set everything up for you. Um, we can definitely do that, but that's not what I get on that call for. That's not what I'm running the ad for. What I'm running the ad for is a fully done for you system, whether that's a funnel, whatever. So within that, you once again you have experienced minority entrepreneurs, and even in that, you have two parts. You have experience and you have minority. Not everybody's going to buy from me. I don't speak the language that everybody speaks. I don't look like a person that everybody wants to do business with. Like I said, I'm very honest about my history. I'm very honest about whatever else that's going on. Sometimes I get on calls and I may be, I think last week I did this in my dining room. I was just chilling and I was like, man, I'm just going to do it from my dining room. My kids may walk in. Anything can happen, right? A lot of us can relate to that. I don't want to have to be somebody else to get a sale. Now, I do handle my business, but I don't want to have to, hi, yes, my name is Alvin Hill. I don't want to be that person. I want to be myself. Sometimes I might cuss. I don't want you to, I don't want to be a robot. So I want to talk to my people, minority, experienced minority entrepreneurs making at least 50 to 100K looking to scale their business. So In your business, you have to do the exact same thing, and it may take you some time. As I stated, I ran a funnel for close to a year. Basically, I took it off for 3 months, so maybe 8 months, right? To be honest, so 6 months, because I took it off for 3 months, and it's been about 3 months since. So for about 6 months, I literally poured money into a funnel that targeted the wrong people. And this is what will happen anytime you are marketing a service to the wrong people. So let's say you are selling and it's a lot of people who have this mixed up. So let's say you know somebody in the Nation of Islam and they have a meeting with, let's say, 5,000 people there. The Nation of Islam, they are known to not eat pork. So now you got this Nation of Islam meet, and this is something that some people would not understand. That's why I talk to my people. So if you have people that's in the nation, and your cousin, let's say, invite you, hey Cheryl, come out to the nation meeting on Saturday. It's going to be 5,000 people there, and bring your food truck. I need you to come out there. Be there at 12. They getting out at 1. Make sure the food hot. And Cheryl pulls up, and Cheryl has a food truck full of hot dogs, pork hot dogs at the Nation of Islam meet. She have a food truck. I'm saying she got 10,000 hot dogs. That's what she's selling today. She bringing hot dogs. And then Chef Red pulls up. Oops. Chef Red pulls up at the same place, and she has a menu that does not contain pork. It's no pork on her truck. Even if Chef Red's plates are more expensive, let's say the hot dogs are going 2 for $5, but Chef Red is selling turkey chops for $20 a plate. So you went from 2 to 5 to $20 a plate. Who do you think is going to make the money? You got to understand where you are, right? You have to understand where you are. Those hot dogs may have sold at a Detroit Pistons game or a Tigers game or anywhere where there's a bunch of people that eat pork. It may have sold, even if it was only 2,500 people there. It may have sold. It may have done great. It may have done great if it was 500 people there. But the fact that it was 5,000 people there, and you came with something that nobody there wanted to buy, even if that person eat pork and they there with their nation brothers, they are not buying those pork hot dogs and Polish sausages from you. They are around the people who are holding them accountable. Now, they may sneak and do it around their other family at the barbecue. But when they are with their nation brothers, they are not eating your pork, hot dogs, and sausages. But what they will do is buy those turkey chops. This is how you have to understand marketing. You need to understand who wants what. So if I'm selling you a $47 product, I don't worry about how much money you make per year. But the least amount my product sells is $1,000 to set up and $500 per month. That is at least $7,000 a year. So if you're not making $50,000 a year, you're not going to spend $7,000. Even if I show you that, hey, I can make that 35 turn into 50 with the right marketing, it's squeezing juice out of turnip, and you can't squeeze oil out of brick. So it's easier for me to have a conversation with somebody that's making 50 to 100K for a multitude of reasons, but mainly they have access to the capital that I'm asking for. Another reason is, if you are making 50 to 100K a year, then you are past the startup stage. You are actually making money, and you may have realized, hey, I need a little help. You may be making 50 to 100K for maybe 7 years, 8 years. You may have been making 50 3 years ago. Now you're making closer to 100. But if you are not dialed in and you don't understand that, hey, I need to spend money to make money, I'm not the person that you need to talk to. Now, not only has this helped me in the fact of running the ads because I redid the visual, I redid the ad copy, I got everything kind of set up to where this is who I'm targeting, but it also helps me when I have these conversations. As I stated earlier, when I have these conversations, now I understand what I'm looking for. Now I understand if this person's not making as much, they're not going to buy my product. Now I understand if this person is not at this point in their business, they're not going to understand what's the importance of my product and generating leads. And this is how you build your business is you target one particular person. That is your avatar. And everyone's avatar is different. Even if you have the same thing, you have a different avatar. Even if you are selling the same thing at the same price, you may have a different avatar. You have to understand your unique selling proposition or your USP. What makes you unique? And that's what you're selling. This is why you want to talk to a particular avatar. You are in a business and you think it's for everybody. No, if you think your business is for everybody, then you are never going to sell anything. If you feel like, well, I sell everybody eat hot dogs. No, everybody does not eat hot dogs. Everybody does not eat hot dogs. So, what I was just talking about is your avatar, Chef Red. So your avatar is exactly what I just said. Who are you selling to? That is the avatar. The more you can nail an avatar down, the better you can sell your product. So let's say you are selling uh turkey chops, right? The avatar, your avatar would not be Muslims at church or at mosque or things like that. That's not where you're going to sell pork at, right? That's not how you would sell turkey chops either, right? So your avatar would be, let's say it's African American people between the ages of 25 and 45 that live in Minnesota. Like you narrow it down. The more you can narrow it down, that's your avatar. You nail it, you narrow it down. And it could be, you can even put a name on it.
Your avatar is pretty much your target audience and who you're looking to sell your product to.
Yes, it's consistent with your target audience, but the avatar is one person. You see what I'm saying? You narrow it down to this person. That's why I said you could put a name on it. You could say your avatar is Bob. Bob is a 40-year-old African American male that works at such and such company. You can like literally narrow Bob down to what he ate for breakfast. The better you build this avatar out and get an understanding of who they are, then you understand how to get your product to them. Because you say Bob is on social media 3 hours a day. Like you now you know you need to put your product in front of Bob on social media. That's how you narrow down your avatar. Yo, let's say if you sold clothes. I dealt with a young lady. Well, we're still cool, but I helped her open up a suite. Well, she was already selling clothes and she already had a boutique, so I helped her move and open up a new one. And I mentored her for the better part of like most of last year. And she was like, "No, I sell men's clothes. I sell this and sell that," and it may work out for her. But in reality, most of the clothes that's in your store, men are not going to a boutique to buy the type of clothes that you will sell in a boutique, like for the most part. Men are going to go somewhere that's gonna spend money. I'm not going to a boutique to buy uh a $10 Detroit Red Wing shirt. I'm going somewhere where it's decent shirts because we're a little rougher on our clothes. With women, you can go buy a $10 dress and look good in it. You could go buy a $10 dress and you could throw on some nice sandals and keep your feet cute and you are fine. But with men, we can't just throw on everything. So you can't sell to men the way you sell to women. It's just the way that it work out. So in that boutique, you need to target somebody. Who are you selling to? Are you selling to the lady at church? You got a different type of sale. It's a different type of marketing. Are you selling to the young crowd? What kind of clothes do you have in there? So if you are selling to the young crowd, then you sexy red it up, which she does. She only like 22. So it's sexy red it up. Everything ratchet. She go on there. She have a very big following and she talk junk on there all day and they love her. They love her. I'm talking about love her. And she sell her clothes and do her thing. She's made and sold clothes since she was like 14. She's only 22. And this is her second boutique, right? And she do really good. Like she do really good on social media, but she knows her crowd. She's not on there saying, yes, if you are an auntie or a grandmother and you're looking for the perfect church dress, then come visit my boutique. No, her boutique is called Crazy for Real, and she crazy for real. And they love her. The people her age love her because she understands her avatar. Once again, I wasn't 100% with the man thing, but she have her man section and do her thing, right? So this is how you got to understand your business, no matter what your business is. If you are a car salesman, it's all types of cars. You may sell Hyundais or you may sell Lexuses and Benzes and all. And you go to a Benz dealership, it's a totally different experience than a Toyota dealership or a Ford dealership. And that's just the way business is. And people will pay Mercedes money to have a Mercedes experience if you can deliver that experience, right? So once again, with the chef, the analogy, right? So you do not package hot dogs if you're going to a party and you're going to cater somewhere. You do not package hot dogs in the same way you would package turkey chops or something else. Like, you're coming with things a little better put together. If you're selling hot dogs somewhere, or if you catering and they ask for hot dogs, it's probably a kid's party or something. It's probably somewhere that's a little more casual, a little more fun. You come a little more relaxed. If they're spending $40 a plate, you come in with yourself dressed up, your hair done nice, and that's what you have to understand about your business. You can't be everything to everybody, because if I see you dressed up like you do kids party, then I may only want to hire you for a kids party. But if I see you fully dressed up, shirt, dress shirt on, slacks, everything done nice, hair done nice, and you pull up and you have a certain aura about yourself, then I know I'm gonna spend a little money. But you need to know your avatar to know the type of person to attract them. Because if you are just selling hot dogs, then you don't get overdressed, and because you're not attracting the type of people that want to buy hot dogs. You have to know the avatar in order to market to them. Because once you narrow this down, then you know what they're looking for. You understand their pain points. So back to my ad, when I addressed the 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 audience in my ad, I broke down the type of things that you're going through. That's why people are clicking on the ad. I'm saying you are in your business, you feel stuck, you want to automate your business, you don't know where to start, blah, 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 blah. Go through all of that, and you can read it, and the message is consistent in the video, and people are clicking on this ad. This ad is doing way better, like 2-3 times better than the ad was doing before, because I narrowed it down. Stop thinking you're going to be everything to everybody. It does not work like that. When you think you're everything to everybody, then you end up being nothing to nobody, because you do not focus in. You do not master anything. You just all over the place. Yeah, I sell hot dogs. Yeah, I sell turkey chops. Yeah, I sell filet mignon. Yeah, I sell it. Like, nah. The restaurants that win are the restaurants who cater to one particular crowd. I sell hibachi rice. That's it. You can get some chicken in it sometimes. You can get some chicken in it sometimes, all the time, William. So you can get some beef in it, whatever. We may put a little something in there, but I sell hibachi rice. When you walk into my establishment, you know you coming in here for some hibachi rice. for some hibachi rice. You're not coming in here looking for turkey chops and wingdings and French fries, and you're coming in here looking for hibachi rice. And I'm gonna be the best hibachi cook I can be because I know people coming here for hibachi. I'm gonna make sure my recipe is solid so you come in here and you get the same rice every single time. Cause I don't want you coming in here tomorrow and say, hey, that rice yesterday was slapping, but the rice you gave me today was terrible. You put too much salt, too much vinegar, too much this. You wanna master your recipe, whatever your recipe is in your business. If you make t-shirts, you want to master that process. I don't want to buy a t-shirt from you today and the logo was this big. And I said, dang, I love this shirt. Then I come tomorrow and the logo is this big. And I come the next day and you got a different brand of t-shirt. You don't want to do that. You want to master your process. Now, it does not mean you don't make improvements on your process, but what it means is you master the process. You master what you're great at. This is what I'm good at. I'm good at having this conversation. If you've ever watched me on the live or you ever seen me do something like this or talk in public, this is the type of conversation I have. I talk business because I know business. I don't want to talk about uh sexy red. I don't know nothing about that. I'm just being honest. I may hear my woman say it here and there, but I don't know anything about that. I don't know what she into. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know anything about Bad Girls Club. That's the type of stuff she watching. That's her business, but that's not my business as a man. That's not something that interests me. Right? I don't have to watch that to communicate with a crowd because that's not my crowd. Now, the young lady who owns the boutique, that's her crowd. So she can watch that and talk junk about that. Y'all see such and such on there? Everything you do should attract the people that you want to attract to your business. Whatever you post on social media should be consistent with whatever marketing you're doing. Whatever you post on whatever you share should be consistent with whatever marketing you're doing. Everything that you do should be focused on attracting that avatar to you. If you are looking for government contracts, then you need to post knowledgeable information. You need to show the government people they're going to look. They're going to look on your social media. You need to show them that you know what you're talking about and that you are on action. Look, this is what I'm about. I want this grant. You see what I'm doing. This is what I need it for. I want to expand on this. I want to make sure that this gets to the people. I want to make sure this is all about honing in. And the only way you're going to hone in is if you understand your avatar, which is, once again, your customer profile. And this should be narrowed down to one person, not a group of people. Your avatar is one person. The more you can make that person a real person, like I say, you can give them a name. It can be first, last name. You can give them a life story. You can give your avatar a whole life story. This is a person that grew up in the suburbs and this and that. Like, you can give them a whole life story so you can understand them. The more you understand about your avatar, the more you can cater everything that you do to them. If you are wondering what sides they like, you can narrow this down and you can use ChatGPT to help you. Ask it the right questions. They call them prompts. Give ChatGPT the prompts. I use like 4 different GPTs, y'all. Like 4 different AI softwares. 4 different ones for different reasons. But AI will definitely answer your questions and pay for it. At least pay for ChatGPT. That's the granddaddy. Pay for it. Ask it the right questions. You can use it for free, and they're gonna give you some all right answers. But you pay $20 for it. You can go in there and it'll be your counselor. It'll be your business coach. Everything you need, you can do that based on how you ask it the questions. You got to give it a prompt, right? And it can help you narrow down your avatar. Just ask it. Hey, I run this company. If you got a website, you can put in your website URL. hey, this is my company. I'm looking to build out a customer profile and to identify my avatar. And the GPT is going to go to work. And 30 seconds to a minute later, you're going to understand your avatar. You can make some adjustments, or you can have the AI, regenerate another answer. Whatever it is, you need to understand your avatar ASAP.
Can
Because
you
you
repeat that last sentence
about
for
the
the
GP,
prompt to chat? Yeah.
yeah, about the so Chat GPT, everything is all based on the prompts. That's what they call it. So when I talk to Chat GPT, I don't just put in something. So I give it a prompt. I actually have built out GPTs. It's like another level or something. It's not really super hard, but you got to understand what a GPT is. So uh basically you give it a prompt. You say, hey, you're a marketing director for Real Life Business Solutions. We are building out a business plan for Chef Red's Kitchen. Chef Red is such and such. You got to give it a prompt. You can't, it's not going to do all the work for you. You got to give it a prompt, give it some background, and you can give it files or websites and say, hey, this is her website, this is her menu, and you can literally walk it down. I need to identify a target market for her and an avatar, and it will do it. It's all about the prompt. If you give it bad information, it's going to give you some terrible stuff. But if you give it good information and the prompt is thorough, it's going to give you a really good target audience and avatar. You got to give it a prompt though. You got to tell GPT what it is unless you make it a GPT. So that's what GPTs are. And I create my own GPTs. So I have a marketing GPT where I go on there and I use it just for marketing things. And it's already trained as a marketer. So I just click on that GPT and give it the information. I don't have to overly prompt it anymore because it's already a general prompt in this particular GPT. I've already told it you are the marketing director for Real Life Business Solutions. I've gave it files and different things to train it on, and it understands what I'm asking of it. And it's still gonna scour the internet and do its thing, but it understands what I need it to do. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. That's what the GPTs are all about. Um I can make it a songwriter. Like you give the GPT a personality. I could say, "Hey, you're a songwriter for my music company is Gifted and Talented." I could say, "Hey, you're a songwriter for Gifted and Talented. I need you to write a song about X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah, whoop, whoop, whoop." So I give it all of these prompts, and then I tell it what I want the song about. But you give it these prompts. You got to tell GPT what it is because it's basically like it's a computer brain. But you got to tell it, I need you to perform like this. You are a NBA analyst and you have 40 years of experience in National Basketball Association. You have some college experience, college not like you give it and you do the same thing. This is now you're this. And then when you ask it a question, it's pulling from being a NBA player, a coach, or whatever. Whatever you told it, you gotta give it a prompt. Chat GPT is only as good as the prompts. It's only as good as the prompts. It's another one called Perplexity that you can do research with. So when I go into things, sometimes I do like overextend, like very extensive research. And I use Perplexity instead of Chat GPT because Perplexity is a research AI and it gives me so much information. It's like way different than Chat GPT. It's gonna give me the information and the links to where whatever the information it gave me came from. So I can click on it and read the whole article because it may have only gave me a sentence out of 10,000 words, like whatever. You don't know. It may have gave me something from a book because that's what it does. It just scour the internet and it just consumes so much information and spits it back out to you, right? Chef Red got a lot of questions. Anybody else got questions?
Sorry, I apologize. I
No,
just
no, no,
try
no,
to
no, no.
take. the opportunity when I
That
can to get a
that's why
better
we here.
understanding for my notes.
That's why we here. I don't have a script or anything that I'm reading from. This is all me. So I'm here on Wednesday. Sometimes I do have like a basic outline and I go from there. But today it was something that I do every day. This is all off the top of my head. I'm literally looking at everybody on the screen. Like you was here last week where I had like pictures I went through and different things. But this week is just about generating leads based on having the right avatar. And if you guys have businesses and you do not understand who you're selling to, then you are wasting your time, your money, everything. You're marketing to a bunch of people you don't need to be marketing to. Trust me. You're wasting your money. If you are on social media, you're having a bunch of conversations you probably don't need to have. You're not making money from that. Unless, well, I do make money from social media because I am a what they call it, an influencer. I got like 20 some thousand followers on Instagram, and I was doing that before business, so I do make some money from that. And I'm not saying some of y'all don't, but I'm just saying, if, going towards your business, if you are not making content that attracts your avatar, you are probably not making money in your business, right? You have to understand your avatar so you know how to attract them. You know where they are. You don't have to be in certain groups looking to post your content. Once again, let's say the Nation of Islam have a Facebook group. It may be 6 million people in that group, but you sell pork. Don't come in them people groups talking about, hey, y'all come buy these pork sliders. It's a waste of time. You're wasting time if you are not targeting down your ads or whatever else you're doing. You're wasting money, and it will help you in conversation. I have had so much less conversation over the past 3 months than I had last year because I talked to anybody with a business, anybody that wanted to get a business, anybody that had an idea and didn't take a step towards a business. I'm like, look, you know, I can help you start the business. I can get your LLC for you. I can do, and I do. And I was doing that. I was like a general business consultant last year. And it was cool. Like I said, I made more than 6 figures. It was straight. This year, I'm doing so much better because I don't want to, I'm not making no LLC. I'm not doing an LLC for you. No, I'm not doing that. That's not what I do anymore. It's cool. I got to turn that down. I may have only charged you $100, $150. I don't need that right now. I'm focused on the people who need this particular service because now I'm target, I'm focused, and that's what I'm attracting. This is what it's all about, y'all. Any more questions? April, I don't know if it's the April I think it is, but April, Lamar, y'all joined a little later. If y'all have any questions, y'all, this is like an open forum. I'm not selling anything. It is nothing prepared, y'all. If y'all got questions, just ask the questions.
My question was, hi, how are you? First
Uh,
of all,
how are you? I'm
and
great.
I don't know what April you're thinking of, but I might not be her.
No, no, no. You know, I know which one it is. I do have a Zoom with her later on, so I didn't know if she just jumped on this one. So I do have a Zoom with her
Um,
and her CEO later
okay, cool, cool, cool.
on.
I heard you mention earlier in the conversation that you use 4 different Chat GPTs. Are
Yeah,
you willing to share those?
yeah, yeah. They all right here. Perplexity. I'm gonna put them down here, but they all right here. Perplexity, Chat GPT, Grok, and Claw, and I use them for all different reasons.
Okay.
Let me put them down here. I'm gonna put them in the chat. So you got perplexity, y'all. Let me make sure I'm spelling it right. So y'all be like, He said he had an MBA and he over here. He didn't spell that. These people spell stuff the way they want to, y'all. So I just want to make sure. So I use perplexity. I use Chat GPT is the main one,
Okay.
right? Chat GPT is the main one I use. I use Claude and it's called Grok, right? So let me explain the differences basically. So perplexity is a research GPT, right? It's a research AI. Perplexity is going to give you so much information if you go in there. I advise y'all to pay for it. I pay for everything except Grok. Grok is free. But Perplexity, Chat GPT, and Claude is just $20 a month. And basically, Perplexity I'm telling you, if you want to look up something like what are the top, uh, whatever, restaurants or whatever, it's going to pull from all over the internet. It's going to pull from all over the internet and it's going to give you a link to whatever article. It may be a social media post on Reddit or anything like that. Anybody that has made a comment that can answer your question or your inquiry, whatever. Like I'm telling you, it's cold when you're doing research. Perplexity is cold. I've been using Perplexity for maybe like 4 or 5 months, and I start with Perplexity. Like I go on there and say, hey, like right now I'm putting together, it's another funnel that I'm launching in like 2 weeks, and this funnel is all about lead gen. The funnel I have now is like business owners. This particular funnel, I've focused in even more on lead generation. This is why I'm trying to explain to everybody about getting the right avatar to write this. Like I don't want you to buy the software no more. I want you to pay me to generate leads for you, right? So I had to do research on the top lead generation tools and tech. Like I had to do a bunch of research on top of whatever I pay for in the groups and stuff that I joined, right? In the different I joined the whole lead gen group, paid thousands of dollars, and I still use Perplexity just to make sure the information was up to date, to get all the research. It scours the entire internet and it gives you links. So I did that, and Perplexity was cool. Bam. Then Chat GPT is the main one that I use because Chat GPT is like the granddaddy. It hook up to everything. I run AI and stuff too, like automations and AI. So Chat GPT, I may say, I may have it in something and it's running. Like it's literally running all the time. So it knows me better than Perplexity, Claude, all of that. Cause I've been using that for about a year and a half, going on 2 years now. So it knows what I'm looking for is, and then I can make these GPTs. So, like I explained earlier, I have a marketing. Basically, it's like a persona. So I'm giving Chat GPT a whole different persona. I'm telling it, you're the marketing director for Real Life Business Solutions, blah blah blah, and you can feed it files and websites and stuff so it can study it, and it will answer your questions like a marketing director instead of just a general Chat GPT. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's just kind of like how it works. So same thing with Claude. Claude has a whole different use case, right? So with Claude, when I want to make like ads or Facebook posts or blogs or anything like that that take a certain type of language, like a sales language or whatever, I use Claude. Claude is a little better at making sales language, making ad copy than ChatGPT because it doesn't sound so robotic. Claude sounds like it understands your language, like it understands you. So when you ask Claude, hey, I need you to write a 3-page report, it's not going to sound like GPT if you use Claude, right? But you can use all three of them. You can research something with Perplexity. Then you can use Chat GPT to write out whatever you was trying to do that you needed the research for. Hey, Chat GPT, I found this research through Perplexity. I need you to write a report on ancient pilgrims, whatever. So the Chat GPT gonna write a report based on whatever you fed it through Perplexity, and it's going to give you that report. And then you can look at that report and say, this sounds a little robotic. It doesn't sound like my natural language. And you can put that in Claude and say, I need you to rewrite this to fit my personality. Claude is code at language. So now you have a whole report that sounds like you instead of Chat GPT, robotic. So this is how you use it, right? And then Grok is like a search engine like Google, but it's like on steroids. It's like a little hyper Google, right? It's gonna give you a full search, like a full search of everything. And that's how you use the 4 different ones that I use. It's other little tools and stuff I use, but these are the main AI that I use. All right, Mr. King, right? That
I
answer your
do agree. I do agree. Yes,
my
yes, yes, yes. Got to go, got to zoom, get on. But everything that you're pointing out is correct. And I think I'm going to narrow down my avatars a little bit more. Although I've got four different businesses I'm operating.
Hmm.
That's the way I flow. I will, like right now, I'm targeting employers with 15 W-2 employees or more.
Hmm.
That's the audience I want because that's a long-term residual income from that aspect of wellness for employers. Right now, my is sundown time for the ERC and the SCTC for people because it's over with April 15th. I'm not spending any more energy. If you haven't gotten in the water, then you're not going to get in the water. So I'm through with that, and I'm now focusing on my residual income, which would be from the wellness solution for employers. So I'm hearing what you're saying exactly 110%. Y'all have a great day. See you next time.
My God, man, I appreciate your input as always, Mr. King. I'll see you next week. Anybody else have questions? First, I want to make sure that answer what you were asking, April.
It did actually. Thank you. I was
Uh,
because I was wondering, like I'm sort of familiar with Chat GPT, but and I've played around with a couple different visuals, the ones that do images,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't know that many existed as far as like
Oh,
wording and research and stuff like that. So that was like super,
it's
super
so many.
helpful.
Yep, it's so many. That's only four. It's so many. Like if you just go to the app store and put
Yeah.
in AI or Chat GPT or GPT, whatever, it's probably thousands of them.
I'm listening to you talk about an avatar, right?
Uh huh.
I run a all natural skincare business.
Mm-hmm.
So my business is skin.
Mm-hmm.
If you got skin, then we can talk. But what I'm finding is that more people are looking to repair damaged skin, which my product does do.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I go about creating an avatar when my product, and I hear you say, your product's not for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of is. So
It's
how
not.
do I narrow down like who it's so I started making this product for myself
Mm-hmm.
because I live out here in Phoenix and between the hard water and the harsh sun, having melanated skin and lotion wasn't working. So I created this product for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be fair to say that I'm my avatar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It'd be fair to say that you are your avatar. So it's
Okay.
it's not for everybody. Or
Okay.
right off the rip, it's not for everybody. If it's something for us, it's already not for everybody.
True.
If it's something for us, then it's already not for everybody. Melanation is only a part of 13 to 15% of the American population. Now it could be further out. It may be a little different in Africa, maybe a little
Yeah.
different in Ethiopia, whatever. I don't, it's whatever. It could be a little different in Asia, whatever. But I'm saying here is only 13 to 15%, depending on who you ask. So right there, your target went from that big to that big. Like just right there. You gotta narrow it down. The laziest thing people do is say, man, I didn't make it for everybody. No, man. Who do you do music for? I do music for everybody. Everybody can feel. No, that's not what happened. That's not the
Mm,
biggest. That's not how you be the biggest artist. You can't do music for everybody. That's not how you are the biggest company is doing. Oh, you everything for everybody, unless you run something like Amazon where it's actually for everybody. Like there's products, and you are basically a big flea market.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If you were a big flea market, then it could be for everybody. But for you to have a specific product or a specific service, you cannot say, well, it's for everybody. It's not. It's not. As
Okay.
I stated before, I did general consulting and I did okay. I did okay because basically you can have a business and reach out to me and say, "Hey man, I got this business and I was looking for this," and I'm gonna say, "Okay, I'm gonna send you a proposal." And what made me rethink all of this was that I met with a millionaire from here. He is a Italian guy, and he owned like a really big Italian restaurant here for like 30 years, and now he's like a real estate developer. And he reached out to me um I don't think it was referral. I think it may have been via Google or something. But he reached out to me and I sat with him on Christmas Eve. We went out to eat and we kicked it. And basically he was like, "Look, I had a a go-to guy that I've had for it was like extended period of time, maybe like 18 or 20 something years or something, like maybe like 18 years. He said he have a guy that basically do his running for him. Like basically the guy was like a very smart guy, and this man paid him a good amount of money to basically he'll set something up, and he'll be like, look, I need you to make sure that they are doing the construction over there, or they doing this, like basically like a executive assistant, maybe like executive assistant. He like, I need another guy like that because my guy passed. And he was like, he was clear with me. He said, look, I don't got a problem with you being black, your history, nothing. He said, I just want you to be capable of doing what I'm asking you to do. He said the guy that passed was black. He was very forthcoming. And he was like, I don't care about none of that stuff. If you can do the job, I need you to come aboard in the next 30 days. Let's come get this money. And we had a good meeting. He was like, I need a in-house consultant. But what he wanted me to do is not what I specialize in. That may
Mhm.
be okay for somebody who have no type of uh like me. I actually build websites. I'm actually adept at software. I actually use the AI. Like, nah, I don't want to check around and make sure your houses are being built. I don't even like my shoes dirty. I'm just being 100. It may work for somebody, but it didn't necessarily work for me. I was very um cordial about it. I didn't turn him down. I sent them a proposal that he could have took or didn't take, but I asked for more money than I would regularly because it's something I really didn't want to do. You see what I'm saying? I was like, look, if you gonna pay me this much, I'll do it, but I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, I don't care about your business on the side. I just need a few hours a week and blah, blah, blah. Like he was cool. He a millionaire. He been making money. It's been 40 years of making money. You know what I'm saying? So his attitude was, look, man, I like paying to have my problems fixed, but I'm not your problem solver. I got my own business. I do what I do. But dealing with that made me realize that I need to hone in on what I actually do because I was a general business consultant. Even when he reached out to me, that's how I addressed it. Well, I'm a general business consultant. I do blah, blah, blah. Right. But now, if I get that same phone call, I'm not going to tell you I'm a general business consultant. I'm going to say I do marketing, lead management, whatever like that. Now, I can offer you some other services depending on where you are in your business. Like I do have a partner that does funding. I'm not doing the funding. I'm very forthcoming with that. I don't do the funding myself, but I have actually two funding partners that I work with, and they'll get you funded in 20 to 30 days. Like you'll have your money, like you will be approved within the 48 to 72 hours. But within the next couple of weeks, you'll have your credit cards, whatever else with you getting with your funding, it'll be yours in 2 to 3 weeks. But I don't offer funding. That's not what I do. I didn't go at funding to learn funding. I send you an application. When you done, I make sure that they have the information, and I let you know they'll be calling. One of our funding partners will be calling. Maybe both, depending on what you're looking for. Right. But me understanding what I actually do allow me to avoid wasting my time doing stuff that I don't really do. And that does not give me any type of long-term income. Right? If you were on here at the beginning of the call, I said I'm redoing, I'm putting together, it's a whole nother funnel that's about to launch. And it's probably 2 to 3 weeks away. We like still working out some of the intricacies or whatever. But the new funnel is so dialed in because I got dialed in. I understand my avatar. I understand who I'm selling to. So the new funnel is literally ABC. This it. You either fit this criteria or you don't. I don't want 100 leads a day and then one person buy. I want 8 leads a day and one person buy. I'm not junking up my system with a bunch of people who can't afford it, don't understand it, don't want it, can't. You don't want that. You want to dial in exactly what you have and you want to know exactly who you're trying to sell it to. And if you don't, then you need to sit down and figure that out before you go online talking because you're talking to nobody. Before you pay for advertising because you're advertising to nobody. Let's go, Cameron.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
I'm super
Um,
blessed.
So listen, man, a couple things, bro. I think we're in the same group with the high level. I
Yeah,
think that's how I
definitely.
got your phone.
Yeah.
I just came in here to man just to kind of see what you're doing, brother. I love what you're doing. You're spot on 100%. I definitely want to connect with you on some other things, and you brought up something about funding.
Mhm.
I might have a situation for you with my other business partner. So what's a good way to connect with you, man? Like,
Did you got this link via text message?
yeah, I'm in your phone.
Oh, then you just reach out on the text message. That's my software number, but just reach out on there. This is my direct number. You know how high level work. The other number is in high level.
Right,
This
right.
is my direct number, 313-883-9664. That's my direct number. You just call my
Okay.
direct number or text the number and let me know whatever you need, bro. That's gonna get right through to me. It's not the AI ain't hooked up to that like the
Gotcha.
AI
Bet.
automation's hooked up to the other number.
Bet. All
Most
right,
definitely.
cool, man. Appreciate it.
Ma, anytime, man. Just make sure you save that number. Even if you reach out with the other number and just be like, hey man, it's Cameron, I'll just shoot it to you in there. It's all
Okay.
good.
All
Yeah.
right, and I'm not trying to steal your shine or nothing, brother. But can I just add just 2 cents into it about the
Yeah.
avatar?
No,
Okay.
that's what this for. This I'm telling you, this ain't. I know
Okay.
even with you, right? You've watched these guys. They get on here and they try to sell you. That's not. I'm telling you, I'm not selling anything on these Wednesdays. I come on here and I'm basically shooting the shit. So do your
Gotcha.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to add in, definitely you want to know your avatar because that's definitely important because if you don't know what their goal is, then how are you going to help them get there? So that's one thing. But you can have multiple avatars.
Hmm.
Like, for an example, I worked with a life insurance agent. We had four different avatars.
Hmm.
We had, like you said, you name them. So we had like Timothy, who was 25, who just graduated, wanted to own his own business. He's frustrated because he's working a corporate job that he hates. He wants to, get out of out his 9 to 5. Then we had Shirley, and I forgot the name, but it was a couple in their mid 30s, just got married, want to buy a house. And then we had an older couple that is in their 40s with kids. So you can have multiple avatars with the same product. Is how you position it. So I just wanted to throw that out there too. But
Definitely.
that's definitely spot on, man. Alvin, brother, you're doing an amazing job, man.
Thank you.
Salute to you, brother. I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
add that in there.
Thank you. And that's why I do this so we can build on that a little bit. As he stated, you can have multiple avatars depending on, like he said, the positioning, right? So, and I want to explain that a little bit so people are not confused. So, like he said, let's say the first guy, he may buy the product. He may, well, I think it was life insurance. He may have life insurance for his family, right? You can have another avatar like the ladies. They may have a business and they may need life insurance to make sure that the business continue running or whatever. Like, it's definitely different avatars, right? But um, you gotta narrow that down, even if it's 5 avatars, right? You still have to narrow that down. You cannot say it's for everybody. Well, my business, anybody can use this, or anybody can eat this, or anybody can do this, right? You still have to narrow down those avatars down. And it could be, like you said, 3, 4, 5 different avatars within that product and how you position it, right? You may have a woman, you may sell TV dinners, and you may be able to sell these dinners to single men who do not cook for themselves. But that's one way of positioning it. And you can have another way of positioning it for single mothers who are always busy and want their kids to cook their own TV dinner. So it's just about understanding the avatar, and then you are still going to promote different to those two different avatars. There's different avenues. The single mother may only see your ad online when she at work, so it may be certain times your ad run. Where the single man, you may put it on Sports Center, just different things like that. So that's why you need to understand the avatar so you know where to reach them at, how to reach them, what's important to them, and um and why you would be the choice other than somebody else. So definitely, I appreciate you, Cameron, for bringing that up. Definitely. Anybody else with any commentary or any questions or anything? Oh man, I did a good job today. So I'm gonna stop the camera.